special guest today. His name is Mike, Hunter Mike, and he is going to kind of demonstrate how he is in the process of teaching his dogs how to hunt. You want to give a little quick brief description of your dogs and what we're going to be doing today, Mike?
Yeah, we're going to do a little quartering training according to Delmar Smith's video, and we're going to see how the dogs work out today.
Great. Okay. Well, let's get started. And
right, Riley?
yeah, they're looking to go. These pups are making to go. Here we go.
All right. Heel. Riley. Okay.
The female's a big crybaby. Real yapper. That's the male he's handling right now.
Come on. Ho. 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 Here. 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 So you're supposed to stay there on a
That's a nice shot. He'll standing by you looking at the camera like that.
lead.
Yep.
All right. Oh. 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 Here. Here. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. All right. Oh. Oh. She's quite the distraction for him. He's never worked really by himself. I mean, he's only worked by himself. We'll trade dogs for a little bit. Riley. Riley. Here. All right. Just like when the dog across the street is going nuts, and they're concerned about that dog, it's not going to be any different than wood. I'll have to deal with it even if the dog is trained this way. Hold still. Collar will stay higher on the neck, and they're in a in-between size, where it's hard to find a collar because who wants to invest $40 in a collar that's only going to be good for a short run. All right, here.
Okay. What's the name of this dog?
This is Holly.
That's Holly.
Holly, here.
And the other male dog, that's
Right.
Riley. Okay.
Both named after English gun manufacturers.
Say it again.
Both named after English gun manufacturers.
Which or who called? What they called?
He's after E.M. Riley, and Holly is Holland and Holland.
Okay.
Kind of a tribute to my fantasy gun.
Okay.
Okay, we can wait. Wait till you're ready. All right. Oh! Oh! She turns a lot easier than him.
Yeah, I see that.
Here. Here.
Dog is just a little jealous. Look at her. She's really acting up. Yeah, he's acting up. Oh boy. They're still in their puppies and they're still in the learning stages. And he is conditioning his dogs.
Oh! Trying to teach the dogs how to quarter so that they're not too free ranging while we hunt. Trying to get them to use being 25, 30 feet away from us, not ranging 200 yards, 300 yards. We don't want to be the guys screaming so everybody learns our dog's name. A number of times people have made they've made their dogs famous in a given hunting area because they scream and yell all day long. And all they do is reinforce bad habits.
Is that a natural thing for these dogs to be, you know, when you take one and leave the other, that how they like whine?
They're kennel mates. That's a problem I have to deal with.
So
separation anxiety.
Okay, so they'll get over that eventually as you're training them?
If I work one dog at a time, I get the same results, almost as good of results with him as I do with her.
Okay.
He's a little more bothered by her being at the chain gang.
He's got a problem with anxiety more than she does.
Yes.
And she's more responsive. I just noticed as we were walking and
She'll turn on a dime.
She did. She did very well. And he's more like, although she has anxiety problems, but he's more distracted from her yelling, and your female dog, Holly, is not as distracted from her brother whining, and she's more focused on you and your commands. I noticed that.
Yeah, I don't want two bookends. I want them to each have a little independent things, you know. I want them to have a slightly different style, a certain amount of overlap. I don't want one dog to be bold and real adventurous, and I don't want the other one to be timid and under my feet all the time.
Right, that's important.
You know, if one hangs back a little more than the other, I'm fine with that. But name recognition is good. They know who they are. We're making progress with that.
They know their names, each one that
I can
you call.
one and get one, and the other will follow the other dog, but he won't be coming to the call.
Interesting. Anything else you want to explain as far as the process of how you're conditioning your dogs? What is that called? A conditioned reflex. So you're reinforcing their reflexes by conditioning and repetitiveness.
And we're working with praise, not condemning them for their mistakes, just praising the good work.
Right.
Well, there's not too much out here today.
Right.
Every time they do anything that we're trying to get them to do, we have to act all stupid and extra happy. You know?
Kind of ignoring if you don't want to make them feel they did something wrong.
Right.
You're just like ignoring it and paying more emphasis on what more rewarding.
You don't beat the dog for messing in the house. You praise him for going outside.
Okay.
We all lose our temper once in a while and yell at the dog for having an accident, but you got to remember, you know, how old is he? He's a 3-year-old, you know, human at this point.
Exactly.
You know, and 3-year-old babies make mistakes.
Right. This is great. I mean, I'm honored to have given the opportunity to come out and record you with your dogs. They're beautiful. What kind of dogs are these?
They're American Brittany's.
American Brittany's.
Used to call them Brittany Spaniels. They've kind of gone away from that name.
Why? You were saying something about the responses or something?
I think they're Spaniel-like, but they're not like a Springer Spaniel. They're not a flushing dog. They're a pointing dog. They're related somehow. I don't know the whole genealogy, but
maybe you could tell us next time when I come out.
Yeah, and this is the American version versus the French version, which they're derived from. They're a bigger dog, and the colors are different. The French Brittany's are a little more high-strung, from what I've seen. The ones I've dealt with. Nice dogs. They have their place, and I just happen to be partial to.
Do they make
Brittany's.
good house dogs with the children and
yeah,
are they good family dogs?
They're not real aggressive. They're high energy, and that's why they have a rescue organization, because so many of them people buy them because they're cute and fuzzy, not realizing that they're demanding. These dogs are out probably 5 to 6 hours a day. In the beginning, it was a lot of crate time to teach them that the house was not their toilet, but they spend probably 5 or 6 hours a day, every day outside, unless the weather's extreme. If extreme, they're in the house and just out on real regular intervals. They're alert. They'll let you know if something walks through your yard, and they can be killers as far as wildlife going through your yard. One of the Brittany's we had used to kill anything with a tail that came through the yard. Possums, raccoons.
It's because they're hunting dogs and they have it in them. What kind of birds do they hunt?
They will. I've traditionally hunted quail, pheasant, and chukar with them.
And what is as far as what are you going to be hunting with these birds? What kind of, I mean, the dogs? What kind of birds are you going to be hunting with them mainly?
Pheasant and quail.
Pheasant and quail.
If we do a preserve hunt, we'll have chukars probably put out, and they will point woodcock very well. But the last few years we've had such mild winters going into it. Woodcock season is over before the birds are in the area.
Wow.
Because it's a migratory bird, so the seasons are set by the calendar, not necessarily by what you're going to see in your area. Okay. So we've had years where no one had seen a woodcock all year, and then the last day of the season you start seeing them, and then there's tons of them around, but the season's over. You're not allowed to take them. It's not a stock bird like a pheasant or a quail. So
the last couple of years hasn't been too good for the woodstock.
It has, but it hasn't lined up with the government's calendar.
Mike, I appreciate it. It was great having you invite me to come out here and record you with your dogs, and I look forward to coming out and recording you and slowly record, you know, as far as the progress and how they, you know, are conditioning and get, you know, to the fullest of their potential when they're fully conditioned. I would love to record that, and especially go out on a hunt with you, you know. So it would be like a timeline, you know, from now and slowly as they progress.